Angel Reese traded to the Atlanta Dream, as you guys know. Jeff Pagliocca couldn't wait to send her package. See ya. In fact, reports are coming out that Jeff Pagliocca was so excited about sending Angel Reese to Atlanta, he personally packed her bags. Don't lift a hand, Miss Reese. I got this for you. Hey, you need a card too? Hey, taxi. Picked up her luggage, threw it in the backseat of a taxi, said, hasta la vista, baby.
Chicago Sky just pulled off a move no one saw coming, and the results are wild. Ticket sales are soaring to levels the franchise hasn't seen in years, all because one player is gone. Angel Reese, whose time in Chicago was marked by tension, drama, and locker room headaches, is now with Atlanta, and fans can't stop celebrating the change. How can the exit of a single player completely flip a team's energy and fan frenzy overnight? Could this be the secret to a complete Sky revival? 4.
Angel Reese boldly and competitively called out the Chicago Sky for how they would move forward in terms of needing talent if they were going to compete, saying that she wanted to be a part of the organization and she wanted to compete at a high level. It didn't go over so well, Jay, in the public eye domain, at least as far as Chicago brass was concerned, and she actually ended up being suspended for a half a game. There seemed to be sort of breadcrumbs that perhaps this organization was not prepared for her vocalness and...
The moment Angel Reese left the Chicago Sky, something extraordinary happened, something that the stats alone can't fully explain. Ticket sales for the Sky didn't just rise, they surged like a rocket breaking through the atmosphere, leaving fans, analysts, and even casual observers blinking at the screen, wondering how a team could suddenly become hotter simply by removing a single player.
It's me to believe that the Chicago Bravado traded Angel Reese because they were not ready for her star power. The Bravado traded the matriarch of Me Bounce because she was too famous? Are you starting to understand why I refer to Monica McNutt as a pretend analyst? And look, in her defense, she is not the only one today at the worldwide leader in woke who's trying to convince us that Angel Reese is a huge star.
Angel Reese had never exactly been a fan favorite in Chicago. Whispers in locker rooms and online forums painted a picture of a player whose attitude sometimes overshadowed her talent. A player who many said thought she was bigger than the entire WNBA. A personality too dominant, too chaotic, and too divisive to blend with a team striving for cohesion.
Chicago Sky said, we just don't want to deal with the headache. We don't care. We don't want her here. She's been a locker room cancer from the jump. Quits the first year, quits the second year, fakes a back in my neck, my back, fakes a back injury, doesn't even finish her first season of Unrivaled, can't be bothered with her second season, so she just comes in late. It's being reported that the Chicago Sky said, we need to get her out of here. Angel Reese did not request a trade. The Chicago Sky said, we just don't want her on our team.
The trade to the Atlanta Dream, finalized in what insiders describe as a whirlwind of efficiency, wasn't a move Angel demanded. She didn't storm into Jeff Pagliocca's office demanding a transfer, didn't threaten legal action or refuse to suit up. It was Chicago that decided the headache wasn't worth the talent.
At what point do we see the first signs of cracks in the foundation? Some of them players looking around, they're like, we're free agents. Holla at you. I'm gonna go play somewhere else. Where newly acquired teammates didn't just light a fire. The Chicago Sky locker room, I'm gonna tell you right now, Chicago Sky win more games they won last year.
Sources say Pagliocca himself practically packed her bags, orchestrating a scene so theatrically cold, it could have been a scripted moment in a sports drama. The luggage was tossed into a taxi, the doors slammed, and Angel Reese waved goodbye to Chicago with barely a backward glance. The message was clear, we don't want you here. And the sooner you're gone, the better. Angel's tenure in Chicago had been fraught with tension from the very beginning. Reports suggest that she struggled with consistency, quitting early in her first season, faking injuries, arriving late in her second, and generally leaving coaches and teammates scrambling. Her sophomore year ended with notable players like Isabel Harrison and Dana Evans visibly frustrated. Some reportedly in tears at press conferences, a reflection of the deep divide between her and the team culture. Even the player could be so influential in her absence, so capable of changing the energy around. A franchise seemed almost paradoxical. But as ticket sales skyrocketed and season packages flew off the shelves, the proof was in the numbers. Chicago had found new life by removing the source of persistent friction. Social media reactions ranged from relief to outright celebration, with fans coining phrases like "finally," "peace in the locker room," and "Chicago's glow-up starts now."
Chicago Sky GM Jeff Pagliuca is completely done with Angel Reese. He's looking to get rid of her. He had just made a statement. The Chicago Sky sent out a statement to Angel Reese, and I'm pretty sure she wants out as well. I mean, she refused to play in games last season. She pretty much quit on the team, and none of the current players want anything to do with it. We remember Angel Reese's mysterious back injury the last few games of the season, where she basically refused to get in the games upon being suspended I believe by the league and the team. The team suspended her for a first half, and then she refused to enter the game the second.
The trade itself was both decisive and curious. Angel had her preferences for a new home, with Atlanta ranking high due its reputation for strong coaching and a lively city atmosphere. But it's clear that the Sky was more than willing to accommodate, to the point of making few demands in return, a rare example of a team so desperate to part ways so that they prioritized culture over compensation. Analysts note that trades typically involve negotiation, leverage, and strategic planning. But in this case, Chicago seemed almost eager to simply transfer the problem elsewhere. This isn't the usual sports calculus. This was addition by subtraction, move calculated to restore harmony rather than acquire assets. And the effects rippled through the team immediately. With Angel gone, remaining players reportedly expressed relief and a newfound freedom to rebuild the team chemistry without the constant tension. Even media narratives took a sharp turn. Analysts who previously framed Chicago as a team burdened by internal drama began highlighting the strategic clarity of the organization's decision. Coverage shifted from speculation about locker room issues to anticipation of how the team's new configuration could perform. Sports talk shows, social feeds, and podcasts buzzed with the message. A franchise that knows what it wants and isn't afraid to make a tough call can change public perception overnight.
This guy getting dogged out, of course they are, because their little darling, Angel Reese, who's, by the way, still got me blocked because she can't handle the smoke. My God, 90% of the players in this league, y'all wanted all this attention, and then when you got it, and you got some criticism, you couldn't handle it. Come on. Really? Fine. All right. Good. But guess what? I can still tell you didn't say a damn thing to the Chicago Sky fans. Nothing. The Chicago Sky fan base has heard nothing from Angel Reese.
Meanwhile, Angel Reese's move to Atlanta generated its own layer of intrigue. She steps into a team eager to leverage intrigue. Her talent, yet aware of the temperament that followed her in Chicago. Cleverage Chicago. Conversations in Atlanta have been a mix of excitement and caution, with fans and analysts alike speculating how her personality and Chicago and playstyle will mesh with the Dreams culture. Wand culture. While Chicago celebrated relief, Atlanta prepared for a challenge, culture. Challenge. Integrating challenge. Integrating a player with undeniable skill but a history of locker integrating a room disruption. The irony isn't lost on the WNBA community. A player who some critics labeled too big for the league and a locker room cancer has inadvertently catalyzed rejuvenation of her Sky. Can the team translate this newfound harmony into on-court success? Will the roster revamp, now fully underway, position Chicago as a contender, or will the vacuum left by Angel create unforeseen gaps in performance? Meanwhile, fans continue to revel in the psychological victory of finally seeing the team free from internal strife, celebrating each announcement of player acquisitions and strategic moves as part of a larger redemption arc. Angel Reese, now a member of the Atlanta Dream, faces her own test. She is no longer the centerpiece of a contentious Chicago locker room but instead carries the weight of expectations both to perform and to integrate successfully.
Angel Reese was drafted to the Chicago Sky with the 7th overall pick back in 2024. The Chicago Sky are kind of like that nail salon in your city that used to have a ton of hype. Like all the influencer girlies went there, all the celebrity girlies went there. It was going viral every other week. They did all the designs, they had all the best techs, and then they just fell off out of nowhere. Because what was once a championship organization quickly became a mess, truly. But two of the baddest girls in your city start going to this nail salon, and it seems like there's hope again that this place might be back on the come up. How do you bring the baddies back into the nail salon? Well, you hire an amazing nail tech that gets the shape right every single time, the design.
Chicago's strategy, unconventional though it may appear, underscores a critical lesson in professional sports. Success is not measured solely in stats or star power, but in team cohesion, culture, and the environment that allows players to thrive collectively. The decision to part ways with Angel Reese, dramatic as it was, demonstrates the organization's prioritization of harmony and strategic clarity over ego, a move that fans have rewarded in tangible ways through ticket sales, renewed engagement, and optimism for the season ahead. Even beyond the numbers, the cultural shift within the Sky cannot be what most teams do from a high-profile acquisition. The broader WNBA community has taken notice. Commentary frequently contrasts Chicago's proactive approach with teams that cling to talent, despite destructive internal dynamics, highlighting the sometimes overlooked importance of personality fit, leadership alignment, and team culture in professional sports. Analysts suggest that this could mark a shift in how franchises approach roster management, prioritizing the elimination of friction as a legitimate strategy for both on-court and commercial performance. As the season unfolds, the impact of Angel Reese's departure will continue to serve as a measuring stick. Ticket sales may remain high, fan engagement may continue to surge, and team performance will reveal whether the Sky's gamble on culture over immediate talent pays dividends.
For the season to end and her to immediately be twerking on a private jet, they thought her back was hurting, on her way to Vegas to party. Angel Reese flat out quit on this team. She threw her teammates under the bus. Ariel Atkins, who sat at the podium and defended Angel Reese earlier in the season. Ariel Atkins don't want nothing to do with Angel Reese and his team. She don't want nothing to do with this. She threw Courtney Vandersloot under the bus, talking about we need a younger point guard. She's old, yada, yada, yada. Just for Courtney Vandersloot to have to get on camera and take shots back at Angel Reese.
Meanwhile, Chicago's story offers a lesson in strategic boldness, illustrating that sometimes, letting go of a contentious star is the clearest path to rejuvenation, fan excitement, and ultimately, team success. Angel Reese's legacy in Chicago will always be complicated, a player of immense talent whose presence coincided with turmoil, whose departure coincided with celebration. Yet, in this unfolding drama, the Sky has emerged, not diminished but invigorated, providing a vivid example of how professional sports culture and fan sentiment intersect in ways that are as fascinating as they are consequential. As the WNBA season moves forward, Chicago's fans are no longer just observers. They are participants in a revival story, written not with acquisitions or trades alone, but with the quiet power of removing what no longer serves the collective good. The public perception of the Sky has shifted as quickly as the ticket sales. Social media chatter isn't just about the excitement of a new season, and the once muted buzz around season tickets has turned into a full-blown frenzy. Fans seem almost eager to witness this new era, one where collaboration and chemistry take center stage and where the Sky can truly be defined by skill rather than spectacle.
I really like the Angel Reese fit in Atlanta on paper. Huge trade out of the WNBA. Atlanta acquires Angel Reese. She's headed to the Dream. The Chicago Sky get the Dream's 2027 first-round pick, 2028 first-round pick, and Angel's tenure with the Sky ends after just 2 seasons. She made the critical comments, which obviously got her in trouble with the franchise. But when you look at her fit in Atlanta, assuming they can keep the rest of that roster intact, they didn't give anything up.
Behind the scenes, executives and coaching staff have been working tirelessly to maximize the opportunity that Angel Reese's departure presented. Chicago's management has been carefully restructuring the roster, focusing on complementary players who not only bring skill but also fit the team's culture and values. Draft picks, previously earmarked for high-profile acquisitions, have been leveraged to protect core talent and ensure that the team maintains its stability while integrating new additions. The organization seems determined to demonstrate that this isn't just a temporary fix. It's a foundational shift designed to produce sustainable success both on the court and in the stands. Meanwhile, the narrative surrounding Angel Reese in Atlanta has added a layer of irony to the story. While the Skies celebrate harmony and unity, Reese is entering a team where her presence is both an asset and a potential challenge. Analysts are divided, some suggesting that her competitive drive could elevate the integrator without repeating the mistakes that plagued the Sky. This contrast underscores just how impactful one player's presence or absence can be on team culture and public perception. Chicago's fans, however, are basking in the tangible benefits of Reese's exit. The surge in ticket sales isn't just symbolic. It represents renewed confidence in the team's trajectory and a willingness to invest in an experience that feels emotionally satisfying.
So Angel Reese is jumping ship already after only 2 seasons with the Chicago Sky getting traded to the Atlanta Dream. So in college, she had to jump ship from Maryland to LSU, a more stacked team, to win her weak college championship. Got drafted to the pros, realized she ain't that good amongst the pros, led the Chicago Sky to 2 of their worst seasons in franchise history. Quit on the Chicago Sky each season, faking an injury, threw her teammates under the bus multiple times, got teaspoon fired because she wanted to try to do her little double-double agenda.
Each sold-out seed is a statement, a small but powerful declaration that fans support the organization's decision to prioritize culture and cohesion over raw talent with baggage. There's an almost celebratory energy in the arena now, a sense that everyone, from the players to the management to the fans, is finally moving in the same direction. Even media coverage reflects this shift. Sports commentators, once focused on locker room strife and individual drama, are now highlighting the Sky's strategic clarity and potential for a breakthrough season. Podcasts, fan channels, and sports news segments emphasize Chicago's forward-thinking approach, portraying the franchise as a model for how to handle internal conflict with professionalism and pragmatism. Analysts point out that in professional sports, talent alone rarely guarantees success. It is culture-chemistry, and the ability to manage, and local businesses around the arena report increased traffic on game nights. The city itself feels a subtle but noticeable lift as Chicagoans rally behind a team that, after years of internal drama, finally feels coherent and purposeful. Fans now have a story to invest in, one where drama has been replaced with optimism, and where every game carries the thrill of witnessing a team potentially realizing its untapped potential.
Of course, it's also a big, star attraction for Atlanta. They instantly become one of the marquee franchises in the league with Angel's presence and with those other players that I just mentioned. That's a lot of all-stars in Atlanta, and Angel now surrounded by a team where she better get things done. Like, there's no excuses now. Like, she gotta impact winning with the Dream, because she's got the personnel around her to do it. This is the announcement from the Sky. Thank you, Angel Reese. As you see here, the trade, 2027 first rounder, 2028 first rounder. So no players. I guess the free agency thing impacts that, obviously, because there's not many players under contract to trade.
But at the same time, Angel Reese's legacy in Chicago continues to be debated. Was she a victim of circumstance or a catalyst of discord? Observers note that talent alone doesn't define a player's contribution to a franchise. How one fits into a team's culture is equally critical. The Sky's rapid turnaround in public perception and fan engagement underscore that removing a disruptive element can be just as valuable as acquiring a superstar. This dynamic is generating discussion across the league. Other teams evaluating the balance between skill, personality, and cultural fit when managing rosters. The Sky has turned what could have been a negative moment into a springboard for renewal, and the fanbase has responded with enthusiasm, energy, and a renewed sense of pride. The season ahead promises to be one of the most closely watched in recent WNBA history, with Chicago fans eager to see whether the harmony, cohesion, and excitement generated by Angel Reese's exit will translate into wins, memorable moments, and perhaps a legacy that redefines the franchise for years to come. The Sky's story is no longer about conflict or drama. It's about transformation, resilience, and the quiet power of strategic subtraction, a narrative that resonates far beyond the arena and reminds everyone that in sports, sometimes the most valuable addition is letting go of what no longer serves the collective good.